I'm Vanessa Conception, but I go by Nessa. I grew up in Vegas, but I was born in the Bay Area. Vegas to me was just honestly, I had a love-hate relationship with it. I went to school there too, UNLV. So at UNLV it was kind of just like the point where I, found like my people, and like when I say people, it's also like, Christian friends as well. I found myself just like really lost and confused about like, okay, like what am I doing? Trying new things, like whether it was like taking up like clubs at the school, and there was actually like a Christian club at that school at the time too. It was those same friends that I grew up with that they were kind of like the people that I guess kind of reminded me like who I was, because we would go to church together like on Sundays, and it was this church by my house. And at that church was also just like a time when like my friends and I didn't always have to like be hanging out at school or like whatever it was. Like we kind of found time to like meet up on Sundays and like carpool. And to me those were like really like pivotal moments in my life in Vegas, because like I was growing up alongside like my older sister. We were living together, and then my mom was really like, she was in California at that point. So I think that was like a big part of it, like just kind of figuring my identity out and just like really trying to like just like, what is my purpose, like who are like my people, and like what am I meant to do. And like the biggest thing I found during that time was like I really enjoy helping people. So like my mom and my auntie specifically took my sister and I and my cousin to this church growing up in Vegas. And we were young kids, so we were in the Sunday school just like the kids at Tekoa. To me, like those moments, I guess as a kid, I didn't really fully understand like, okay, like why that was so important. And like I think my mom always says it's like planting the seed for later. Those moments as a kid, like still to me, like I can vividly remember like us opening up the Bible and like doing those like fun little activities at church. And like I think that was like a driving point to now where like, okay, now I want to like teach these kids at Tekoa, because like I guess I see myself in those kids. Honestly, like once I took that leap to move to California and just go into the unknown of like I didn't know what would happen, I just like over the past 8 months, because I've only been back for 8 months, I have seen my life drastically change. And it was like Tekoa that honestly like again reminded me like Jesus can move in like amazing ways, and not just for like myself, but to see my family, like my parents, like firsthand, just like how they live their lives. Because like again I was like living away from them, but to see how they like not only interact but like how they carry themselves, I guess, and just like the outpour of like people's love for Jesus is like infectious. So when I started going to Tekoa, I think it was just like being an observer at first. I was like just like seeing how everybody like has a role to play in church and like setting up everything, and like I knew I wanted to be a part of that. And over the years, like I would visit my mom and my dad here. Those were weekends that they would be going to Echo or Tekoa. So like I would like somewhat see like glimpses of Tekoa like on Sundays when I would come, but I didn't fully understand it yet, I guess. I didn't fully understand like why my parents were like so dedicated, because like my mom's always like, okay, we're going to this tonight. It was like a group that she was going to like someone's house, and I was just like, why is she doing all this? Like I really didn't understand. I was like I don't know. She would come off work and go here, and they sounded tired, but like that didn't matter. Like they would make the effort to like, I don't know, buy snacks for their Bible group or whatever. And I was just like, Mom, why are you stressing over these things? Like what's the point? And she's just like, she didn't even like, she's like, you'll see, you'll get there once you're there, you know. But I think it really was that past 8 months, and like just being a part of Tekoa and specifically teaching the kids, that brings joy into my life. And like those are the moments that like I hold on to, and that remind me of like why I'm a Christian and like why I believe in these things. And just like, yeah, having that faith and the consistent like your prayers really do get answered, even if it like takes months or years. And I think like time and time again, those moments back in Vegas to like when I moved till now, I think it was like it taught me a lot of patience, and just a lot about myself. But like what made me get baptized now, I think it was just like I knew that this is something that I feel like I feel deep down, and like something that like I have felt my attitude about everything change. I was depressed, like I was anxious and uncertain about a lot of things, and that like carries on like on a day-to-day basis, and you just like you get clouded by that. So I think in coming to Tekoa and meeting the community and like, you know, being alongside my mom and like witnessing how she carries about her life, that honestly affected my attitude about things. And I think that attitude would just slowly become like, okay, like I just like see things in a more positive light, and I just like all I want to do is just talk about like the love. Like I want everybody like, hey, like get in on this. Like love for Jesus is like real and powerful, and like it starts there. Like, and I find myself like not even just talking to like friends about my like going to church. It's even my friends back home. Like we call and we still catch up till now, and it's just like I find myself like just like so enthusiastic about it. And I think that enthusiasm is why I was like, okay, like I'm ready to get baptized now. Like I'm all in now.
Nessa, we baptize you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.